The last two cases I did at the prosecutor's office, one was the murder of a police officer, David Ronk, by Clyde Pinero. Two other deputies had done it before. The convictions didn't stick, or as a hung jury. I did it the third time. And Mr. Pinero is in prison for life without parole to the end of his days.
That's the max.
And he was 20 years old when it happened. You kill a police officer, you murder a police officer, life without parole.
Wow.
The other case was a woman who was sole caretaker for her mother at a studio apartment in Honolulu. She didn't have any respite care. Every night the sun would go down, the mom would start screaming, thinking the world was coming to an end. She took care of her without any help and eventually put a pillow over her mouth and smothered her. It was charged as murder. I looked at it, I interviewed people, I read it, and then I read her diary. She had a mental breakdown and killed her. So I went to see Keith Kaneshiro and I said, normally the defense, like in domestic violence cases, brings up extreme mental or emotional disturbance for which there is a reasonable explanation. Normally we think it's BS as prosecutors. And so you defeat it. But I said to Keith, in this case it applies. He said, well, it has to be murder. I said, well, you're going to find somebody else to do it because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the case. And he eventually found some other deputy who later became a judge. He took it to trial. He tried to get murder. The jury came back in 15 minutes with manslaughter. I think the right decision. And so sometimes the cases you don't charge or you charge a different way are just as important as the ones you do. That's part of being ethical.